Now you have North Korea in this. And remember, part of what the president was saying in targeting Iran is they might be doing some sneaky things with North Korea. North Korea has already gone on record that they could have some surprises, even targeting Guam. Of course, we have said that any move on Guam is a move on us. That's going to escalate things. But all of this comes at a time when we are cracking down on two rogue regimes, so to speak. Kirk Lippold, Commander, what do you make of all of this?
Well, I think that when you look at North Korea, it is a continuation of the policy where we look at it in a holistic manner. It's clear that Iran has aided and abetted the ballistic missile technology when it comes to North Korea, which is why they've made the strides they have. But still, there's a lot of room for diplomatic solutions with North Korea. At the end of the day, the United States will be prepared with all instruments of national power, including the military options, to be able to react to them. The more North Korea builds up this capability, the more the United States has to demand that they cease, desist, and denuclearize the North Korean peninsula.
Now, obviously, what they're trying to search for now, back to the Iran thing and how it connects to North Korea, is that a lot of folks believe that secretly Iran is there fomenting trouble and helping the North Koreans. And given all the money, they got $60 billion plus when all of those assets were unfrozen back a couple of years ago. They've been using that for a lot of nefarious uses. First of all, do you think that is the case? And do you think North Korea is a beneficiary? And as a result, that is why North Korea can be so cavalier in the face of our threats, because they've got money to do what pretty much they want.
I think there's absolutely going to be a connection with that. The intelligence community is clearly finding the ties that are there, all the indicators that are there. And so consequently, while the United States will continue a diplomatic effort, when you look at some of the military things we can do, we really need to step back and ensure that there are additional THAAD put into both South Korea and Japan. We need to look at bolstering the defenses in Hawaii, because if we don't, Neil, the Pacific Rim is going to start to come under threat from this nuclear threat from North Korea, and in reality, we have to be able to be prepared for it. We don't want it to happen. I think there are options available, but nonetheless, you prepare for the worst option while still working toward the best one.
I know you're not a market guy, Commander, but I'm always amazed by the nonchalant attitude of markets and investors who seem to think this too shall pass, or this isn't a big worry, or our crackdown on Iran is a good thing, ignoring North Korea's saber rattling. It's not a whoop-de-doo thing. So I wonder whether we risk whistling past the graveyard, or the markets are kind of telegraphing something. We're on top of this. Don't worry about this. What do you think?
I think when you look at it, Neil, the decision today by the president when it comes to not recertifying the Iran agreement is a very strong signal for U.S. markets. Let's face it, Europe was going all in to aid and abet everything Iran was doing and give them billions of dollars into a market. The United States basically held back, and I think that our markets looked at it and said, you know, we're not going to jump into this right away, because clearly this president throughout the campaign and now that he's in office has telegraphed and signaled he didn't like the agreement. He didn't like what Iran was doing throughout the Middle East and across the globe, South America, North Korea. And so consequently, we're not as invested. And if things do have to tighten down, especially with the IRGC certification today, you're going to see we're going to start tightening the screws. Who's going to be affected? European markets. U.S. markets can take advantage of that in the meantime.
Commander Lippold, good seeing you again. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Neil.